Summer Jam backstage exclusive. It is R-Dub. We have talked to so many amazing artists, from Salt and Peppa to the Jets to Grammy-winning Jody Watley. I'm huge fans of Calling Me Bad, but this next gentleman you recognize from his voice as soon as he says hello. In fact, why don't you say hello?
Hello, how you doing out there? All right.
Tone Loc, Mr. Tone Loc, is in the building, and your music is so special to me because your album, Cassette, was one of the first albums I bought ever. And let me tell you this is really interesting. I don't know if everybody knows this. My first experience with gangster rap was Tone Loc. I had only heard Wild Thing on the radio, and I said, I like the Wild Thing. It was a pop song. You know, the pop radio station was playing it. MTV was playing it. Right. White girls were dancing to Wild Thing. Hey. So I bought the album. I said, let me buy the album. Loc After Dark. Dude, that's a hard album, man. That is a gangster album.
That's cool, man.
Loc After Dark. I mean, that's it. So the question is, there's very few hip-hop albums that have both 100% pop sides to them, and then the entire other side is kind of hard, is kind of gangsta.
Right.
Did you know why Wild Thing was going to go pop? Was that part of the plan, or?
I had no idea whatsoever. Between that and Funky Comedina, I mean, those were not my types of songs. So for those songs to cross over and for me to be doing shows 30 years later, I had no idea this would happen. I do believe that the owners, Matt Dyke and Mike Ross, those guys who started the Listen Vinyl, I think they had more. They knew, where that song was more or less going to go, to tell you the truth. I think they had ideas. That's why they put those guitars in there.
An incredible album, Loc After Dark, 89, 88?
I made that album in 87 and 88.
Wow, okay.
And it took them a little while to get it going.
You know, I always wonder this when a rapper or singer or any performer has a huge album like that, and I won't put you on the spot and quiz you, but I will ask, do you still know every song by heart from an album like Loc After Dark, or no?
No. If you start playing it, I'll probably, start getting all the words, like, oh, okay, start doing it like that. But if I just sit here and start doing each song, off the top of the head, no.
Sure. What does Tone Loc do when he's not touring or not making records? Meaning, how do you make bread? How do you keep the lights on? What's your?
I don't do anything.
His royalty checks. Just
that's it.
Yeah.
From those cartoons and the movies and things like that. I do shows all the time, and people are shocked. They're like, "You still do shows? Have you stopped?" I was like, "I have never stopped doing shows."
We've done many shows before. Last time I saw you was in Tucson, Arizona. I was
there night before last, to tell you the truth.
Okay, that's right, yeah. So we're talking decades ago, but do you remember the moment? Because I have it on VHS still. Do you remember the moment? Because I can see it clearly. Arsenio Hall standing with the album saying Tone Loc, and then there you go on the Arsenio Hall show. Is that fuzzy, or do you remember Arsenio?
Well, no, I remember him very well. Being on that show, yeah, because I did it twice. So I remember the one, because I did All in the Same Gang on one of the episodes.
Of course.
And then, another time. So I have vague memories. I have been so many places and so many spots that I had no intention on, that it is hard for me to remember each one of them.
I'm having a fan moment. My producer is saying wrap it up because we're running late on the radio. I could speak to Tone Loc for hours, but it is so nice to see you. Hey, to our friends listening on Magic 92.5 or Facebook Live, I want you to, of course, Wild Thing and Funky Comedina. I want you to YouTube Tone Loc All Through the Night. Tone did a song with DeBarge. That is just so nice. Side note and a very quick story. Our board of directors, basically our owners of the radio station, how do you say, they're older gentlemen. They're in their 60s, possibly 70s.
Hey, what can you say? This is another generation.
They are from out of town, and they drove in to do an assessment of the radio station, and they heard Funky Comedina on the radio, and they really didn't understand it. And so they called me and said, R-Dub, what is this song about, a dog humping the neighbor? And I said,
like something like that.
I said, look, Mr. Toma, that's Funky Comedina by Tone Loc. It was the #1 song. And he says, no, I really like that song. So
that's cool.
Many generations. Can we please give it up for Mr. Tone Loc? We are live at Summer Jam with Magic 92.5. Let's do the Wild Thing tonight. We'll see you here.